right, we are back with TikTok and financial advice that no one has asked for today. How to get rich quick with random words. I bet you it has to do with AI. So let's jump right into it.
Believe it or not, you can leverage AI and 3 to 4 letter words, completely random made up words, and make money. Make money. This is not like drop shipping or affiliate marketing or Amazon FBA or any business model you've ever heard of before at all. This is not saturated, completely blue ocean opportunity. And you might be wondering, why would I introduce this to you and not charge you for it? Why would I let you know about this when I can make a bunch of money off of it? Well, here's the key. I'm playing the long game here. I feel like if I can help you make money up front, then you're going to help me later on at some point. You'll probably buy one of my products, services, mentoring sometime in the future. And so essentially what we're doing here is we're taking these 3 to 4 letter words and then we're plugging them into like ChatGPT. There's other different AI softwares online that you could use. And these specific softwares will spit out words that we can make money from that people have never heard of before. So what I want you to do is I want you to type in just a random made up word in the comments right now. And then in the next video, we're going to show you exactly how to take those made up words and make money from them in complete detail. And also I've even got a free resource through the link in my bio. If you just go to my bio, you can go ahead and check it out.
See, if I would get a penny for every time that a carbon copy of a Trust Me Bro that is selling courses would show up on these apps, I would potentially make a quite substantial income from it. So this is as plain vanilla of a carbon copy of any of the course seller as it comes. Typical claim that you're making a heap of money with whatever they are claiming to do. Then they explain why they are sharing their secret that would potentially make them hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And then after justifying that, there is a call for action, either to get the video viral by typing in many comments, or a call to action to go into the bio and follow the links there for a free resource that you can get by signing up to an email list. And said email list will then be the nucleus for how he actually makes money, because you will get lots and lots of offers for his services. And he wasn't even dishonest to a degree. He said, I will make money off of you in the future by one of my courses, or by, he actually did not say course because that would have been too telling. He said mentoring services, which I assume is a course or a one-to-one overpriced session. And then he proclaims to be an expert in that field, but yet doesn't know the basics about AI. He calls it AI softwares, which it is not. It's a software as a service at best on good days. And also there are not many different AI softwares out there. There are different front-end interfaces that are using very similar or the same large language model, the underlying OpenGI model that ChatGPT is using. But that's besides the point. He clearly hasn't done his research. Even if you wouldn't know those details, you would already very much be able to tell that that is not a real offer by his logic. Because if he does have a money printing machine which can make money out of four-letter acronyms, then why wouldn't he just build up that machine, reinvest the money that he is making, and just scale it so that it automates everything and make him millions and millions of dollars, and then eventually use the build-up structure and either IPO it at the stock market or M&A transact it with a large company that is interested. And you know what the real truth behind it is? The reason why he's not doing it is because it doesn't function. If it would function that well, he wouldn't offer his idea to a retail customer audience that has a couple of $100s with the intent of quote unquote selling you a course of how to become rich with AI. He would go to a corporation, he would leverage large amounts of investment, and he would scale up his idea so much so that he can make 100 times or 1,000 times off of what he could ever make with addressing the retail customer market. And that's really how you can see through those scams. It's so blatantly telling that he doesn't even know his subject. It's low effort. He was looking to the right at his little comments and at his little dot. He was going through his prepared storyline, likely ChatGPT prepared storyline on how to sell courses. And then he was just going through the entire script, telling you why he would want to share it with you. This is sad, and unfortunately, it is a business model that still functions because there are still enough suckers that would buy into it. All right, so off to part number 2, how to make money easily and quickly. Part 2, us can only be an absolute banger. Let's go.
The ideal method for building a wealth consciousness. Perhaps you are saying as you read this chapter, I need wealth and success. This is what you do. Repeat for about 5 minutes to yourself 3 or 4 times a day, wealth, success. These words have tremendous power. They represent the inner power of the subconscious mind. Anchor your mind on this substantial power within you. Then conditions and circumstances corresponding to their nature and quality will be manifested in your life. You are not saying, I am wealthy. You are dwelling on real powers within you. There is no conflict in the mind when you say wealth. Furthermore, the feeling of wealth will well up within you as you dwell on the idea of wealth. The feeling of wealth produces wealth.
Well, where to start? If that would be satire, it would be fun. But unfortunately, it's not. It's actual advice that people are giving. The funny part about that, if you can even call it, is that this advice is about as correct as the advice that you have seen before. It's just stupid on a different level, so to speak. The whole idea of manifesting anything in your life is absurd to begin with, and anyone who is not delusional and lives in reality would understand that you cannot simply think and therefore something becomes the way that you want it to be. And most prevalently, you cannot do that when thinking about wealth, and therefore the universe will by the law of attraction put wealth in your way. This is not how it works, and a person who truly thinks it actually needs help, because they will not live a fulfilling life. You can believe whatever you want, but this is not a very fulfilling and successful strategy in the long run. On top of that, the whole conclusion of this paragraph doesn't really make sense to me. If you are telling yourself wealth, success 5 minutes a day, what would change other than you wasting 5 minutes a day that would actually start producing wealth? In order to become wealthy, it is a long period of disciplined hard work and a general idea of how to foster your investments and your money, and to produce good returns over a long period of time. That paired with a lifestyle that is sustainable and better spending habits, as in more income and less outflow of money, that will make you wealthy over time and nothing else. And this in particular will not work neither easily nor quickly. This might be circumstantially in some of the situations you might coincidentally run into short-term money for whatever reason, but this is not going to be a long-term strategy, and the short-term money will have nothing to do with whether or not you're asking and praying for 5 minutes of wealth. If this would be advice that you would have given a person in the 1300th century, then I could understand it because you wouldn't know better. But with the level of education, I feel actually concerned how this could be unironically on a platform. And then the highest comment is Jesus created the law of attraction. I'm not even going to go into that. This is so beyond ridiculous that I'm losing brain cells by just watching it. All right, we're diving deeper into that rabbit hole. Let's go.
I'm a 24-year-old millionaire, but I knew I was going to be a millionaire by the age of 20 because of this. And it's called the law of attraction. I'm sure you probably heard of it. You probably don't know how to integrate it into your life. So if you can actually calm down your dopamine receptors for a couple seconds, I'm going to tell you how you can integrate the law of attraction into your life, change your life, and become whoever you want to become in the next year, 2, 3, 4 years. So 2020, I knew exactly what I wanted my future to look like. I got it down to the most precise detail.
I'll spare you the other 3.5 minutes. I think one of the top comments which said, "But where will the money come from?" just hit the nail on the head. He is talking about his made up story for 3.5 minutes, which is irrelevant for the case. So, for starters, I think it is hilarious to see that you're just putting a couple of buzzwords in there, like calm down your dopamine receptors, because you know that your audience has an average attention span of 30 seconds. And then you're just leading with the idea that I am a 24 years old millionaire. People who are wealthy typically don't start their conversation with, "By the way, I am a X years old private net worth individual." This is not how people that are successful are introducing themselves. Typically, people around you, when you're successful, know that you're successful and that you do have the receipts to show for. That can either be businesses that you have built up or titles in a corporate environment that you have earned. So you don't need to kind of front with any statement. The only people that state that they are millionaires in the first sentence are people that typically aren't millionaires to begin with. So that's just a bit of food for thought. Then the law of attraction, which as a spiritual belief simply says you are attracting whatever behavior you're putting out there, is generally, in a very broad sentence or very broad context, not untrue, because if you are behaving positively, people around you will reciprocate that behavior and will also treat you with positive attention, generally speaking, exceptions excluded. However, you can't use that law in order to justify, "I am thinking about money and I am thinking about the type of person that I want to be, and by the hand of virtue, I am automatically becoming that person and money will flow into my direction." That is just absolute garbage advice, and I don't know who would be falling for it. It is the typical snake's oil salesman pitch, where you either have uncomfortable truth or sweet, sweet lies. And the reality is, uncomfortable truth, if you want to be wealthy, you got to put in a lot of work. You need to be talented and you need to likely get an education or become exceptionally well at the craft. Then you need to be diligent, work for a long period of time, spend less than you are doing, and invest wisely with a long-term horizon. That is the uncomfortable truth. There is no quick way of obtaining wealth in a at least sustainable fashion. There's no probable way of doing it. Is it possible to rob a bank? Yes, it is, but there's no probable way of doing it. The formula of becoming wealthy is quite easily laid out. The sweet, sweet lie, however, is you are just 20 and you are thinking about becoming a millionaire and you're just manifesting it by the law of attraction. Therefore, it happens and the universe is just going to shift it into your direction. This is such garbage advice, and I feel very, very bad because the target audience for that must be 15, 14, 13 years old. They don't know any better. They haven't had any lived experiences, and the time that they turn 20 or 22, 23, and they actually believe that BS and are following that advice, that will make them broken individuals, and it will take years and years to kind of get back to a proper path. So that is very unfortunate, and there should be more videos blatantly mocking those types of untrue statements. Anyways, that's it. That's all I had for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.